Hi, welcome to this YouTube episode where I'm going to talk to you all about the best places to sell. I'm just going to give you a general overview. So we are here from my bedroom, very glamorous. My channel, I just want it to be really real and raw and, good light. I look like great. I've got a nice big bay window and I'm all set up here. But yeah, where to sell is a question that kind of comes up all the time on Instagram, and everybody has their preferences. So my strategy from day one was always going to be to try all of the platforms, because if you are limiting yourself to one platform, to me you are limiting your audience. It doesn't make great business sense. If you're only going to sell on eBay, for example, and then eBay completely change the rules, as they have done recently actually, and start messing around with fees, or even the platform goes down for a couple of days for whatever reason, like, you're snookered. So to me, it's like, spread your eggs across the baskets. That's my strategy. Everybody is different. So from day one of launching True North Vintage and the home decor, vintage home decor and accessories part of my business, I committed to selling on Vinted, on eBay, on Etsy, and on Facebook. And I do use cross-listing software, and there will be videos about cross-list because I get so many questions about it. That was a commitment I made to myself from day one. If there's anything I'm going to invest in, I thought to myself, it is going to be cross-listing software, because there is no way I am going to sit copying and pasting listings onto 4 different platforms. It's just not happening. So I did a bunch of trials. I tried 3 different cross-listers, and cross-list was the one that I liked the best. If you want to try it, I do have a 30% off link. I'll stick it under the episode for you to try it, 30% off for your first month. But there are other platforms. So what that does essentially is you can post on one platform, and then you can import the listing into CrossList. Really simple, just a click of a button, brings it in, and then you can push it out to all the other platforms. And as I say, I'll do some demos of that, and I'll do some explanation for you. Now, I tracked from day one, as part of my strategy and knowing my numbers, exactly which platforms sold well for me, and I worked out the profit margins. So there is a lot of talk on Instagram in the vintage community about, Etsy is great because you can charge high prices and you get a certain clientele, and Etsy is wonderful. It's a beautiful platform. The shop front looks divine. You get a loyal customer base on Etsy who want to kind of buy on there, knowing that they're going to get quality and knowing that you're very unlikely to get scammed, because sites like Vinted and eBay do sometimes have that reputation for being a bit scammy. So Etsy sellers obviously opt for Etsy because it's very safe. Now, to me, this is a mindset thing, because whilst you're doing that, you are closing down opportunities to sell across all these other platforms. Now, I'm a Vinted buyer. I will go on Vinted and I can buy vintage stuff really cheap, I have to say. And it comes and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And so you'll see, by being on Vinted and buying and selling from people who are just like me and just like you, that it isn't that terrible a place. And you, as a buyer, you get a buyer protection fee. So you pay the fee, but you're protected very much by Vinted. So your buyers are safe and secure. A lot of the kind of stories around Vinted, personal experiences that people have had, scammers and so on. I've heard similar stories about eBay, and I've heard similar stories about Etsy, the spam messages and the scams and so on. And I've heard definitely stories about Facebook. So it happens on all the platforms. And to me, it's part of the job. Like, being a reseller, you are opening yourself up to the possibility of falling for, being a victim of a scam. So it has happened to me. on all of the platforms. I've had different things happen, and I will talk about those when I do episodes about each platform separately. But started off with Vinted, and it's really quick. It is so quick for somebody to browse and buy on Vinted, and then you as a seller, your label is just there ready for you to print. There's no faffing about. It is unbelievably quick. It's easy to leave reviews. Buyers do leave reviews. They get reminded regularly. It's just a really nice, easy, simple interface, and whatever they pay is what you get in your pocket. eBay has now changed and has gone to the same model. So the buyer pays a buyer protection fee. And so what they pay is what we get. And they are now also, they've just changed the way that they release the funds. And again, I'll talk about that in more detail when I do an episode about eBay in particular. But I started on those two, and then with CrossList, I can also post to Facebook Marketplace. So I thought, well, if I can post to Facebook Marketplace, I may as well, because it takes me 2 seconds and the click of a button with CrossList, and do my Etsy stuff as well on there. And Facebook actually really surprised me. Like, it started to take off, and I thought, wow, this is great, because I probably wouldn't have gone for Facebook Marketplace to sell vintage items. Yet there they are, my listings, because it doesn't take me long at all. And I am generating a lot of business. And at the moment, this is February 2025, I am getting most of my sales from Facebook Marketplace this month. It's fantastic for me at the moment. And then Etsy, you post onto there, and in you go, and it's all kind of beautiful, as I say, and everything just looks so pretty, and it's so kind of reliable. So in terms of where to sell, I would personally spread your eggs. Now, I also opened an Archie account right at the start, back in about August, September. I haven't put a single thing on there yet, because again, that's something I might come to later down the line, but my shop is sitting there empty. If you want to go and have a look at it, it's been there a long time. And there's also Vinteria. There are all the kinds of platforms and things, but for me, I've gone with those main 4, and it's fun. Like, it's working. I'm getting stuff out there. It takes me no time at all to push those listings out. Now, people often say as well, what happens if you sell something on eBay and then you double sell it on Vinted, for example? It happened to me once. I can't believe it. And one of my Instagram friends, Elle at the Vintage Seller, knows this story, because she actually bought something off my Etsy, and at the same time somebody bought it off my Vinted, and I couldn't believe it. So what I actually did was I honoured the Etsy sale, because I did a quick calculation on which sale would generate the most profit for me, and I had to message the Vinted buyer, and luckily she was absolutely lovely, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I've double sold elsewhere at the same time, like crazy. It's fine, you know, it's not a big deal. But CrossList, you can click into CrossList and delist everything instantly. So that to me is really powerful. If I'm not at my laptop where I can get onto CrossList or nearby, it's just quickly into the apps and take things off. It takes 2 minutes. I mean, the chances of it happening are so mad, so rare, yet it happened to me. And it wasn't a big deal. And sometimes stuff goes wrong. Yeah, you might get a bad review, you might get a broken parcel, you might double sell something, you might actually lose something that you've sold. These are all things that happen, and it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. You know, this is not life or death stuff. So have a go at all of the platforms. The other things you can try are selling at auction, which we've done recently. There's a couple of reels in my Instagram if you want to watch those, and I'll do an episode about selling at auction. Absolutely fantastic. And selling at car boot sales, of course, is the other thing, which for us is coming up soon. I've done it many times, but I've got a bit of stock that I'm going to clear using the car boots. So plenty of vintage sellers have stalls at fairs as well, and they do a lot of their business face-to-face stalls. They book out and go to all of the antiques fairs and the vintage fairs and things, and that, it looks absolutely phenomenal. Isn't something I have done yet. I was booked on to go to one in April. Unfortunately, I can no longer go, and that's with So Retro in Manchester. I will definitely be doing something with Michelle there, but I have sold at stalls before in my first business, because I worked very, very closely with Willeda UK, and I used to go out and do wellbeing stalls and sell products there face to face. And I absolutely love a stall because I love talking to people and I love the contact. And it's kind of nice to walk away with a pocket full of cash at the end of the day. So a lot of advantages there. But in terms of online selling, experiment. If you are a staunch Etsy seller, just go and put some of your key pieces onto eBay and have a try. Like, eBay is a lot better than it used to be. There seem to be fewer scams and things going on. It's very, very pleasant. There's a lovely vintage community on there, and Vinted is definitely growing. Like, people are buying, and the run up to Christmas, my Vinted was insane, absolutely crazy. And that's where I made most of my money in December. So things go through peaks and troughs, but absolutely you should be giving all of the platforms a try and seeing which one suits you best. Okay, thanks again for watching. I really would love you to comment, let me know where you sell your products online, what you think of the different platforms. As I say, I will do more detailed episodes, but you know, I want this channel to be like you just come and having a little bit of a chat. So pop some comments down below and we will catch up again in the next episode. Thank you for watching.